One of the latest features of the library's online digital collection has had a special impact on a central Indiana woman and her family. We'll share that story with you in just a moment, but first of all, we're speaking with the library's digital collection manager, Pam Swagner, who will tell us a little bit about the overall collection and the kinds of historical items that can be found online. Pam.
Sure. Well, John, as you know, we keep adding to our digital collections all the time. So they've grown over the years, and we have quite a few things now. And most of what we have spotlights Indianapolis history. And a lot of these objects are owned by the library, and they are located in our Indianapolis Special Collections Room. But some of them are also owned by community members like the firefighters, who we have partnered with. And so we have a lovely collection of their materials from the museum. We also have things like artifacts from the Children's Museum. We have the whole run of IPS yearbooks in our collections. We have James Whitcomb Riley reading his own recordings. We have an Indianapolis postcard collection that we're constantly adding to. And those are just examples of many others that we've got.
And these are just a taste of what we'll find perhaps more of in the future as we partner with more organizations and try to be the documenter of Indianapolis history. You mentioned the firefighters collection, and that leads us to this very special story of a local woman. Her name is Kathleen Quigley, and she recently discovered a photo of her relative, one that she had never seen before, even a photo of. So Kathleen Quigley is a Whitestown, Indiana resident. She works downtown at the Embassy Suites here in Indianapolis. Let's share her special story with you now.
I was visiting with my client, Kara, with the Professional Firefighters Union, and she told me that there was this resource out there to find firemen that were, you know, relatives or long-lost friends and whatnot. And I told her about my grandfather being a fireman and that I had never seen his photo before. And she said, it's pretty much guarantee it's probably on this site. And I said, no, I don't think so. I had looked years ago going to the museum, and we chit-chatted about it. I left, and I went and I visited another client. By the time I got back to my office, she had emailed me the link, and I clicked on the link, and slowly I saw his photo appear. I've never seen his picture before. I mean, because you always wonder, you know, we'd hear stories about him. My dad would tell us stories. So we kind of felt like we knew him through the stories, but you always wondered what he looked like. It was just an amazing experience to actually put a face to the name and all the stories and know that that's my grandpa. I have a cousin that lives in Japan. I have cousins that live in Seattle, cousins that live in California. They're all over the place, all over the country. And I uploaded it, and everybody shared it. I printed a copy for my dad. He's obviously doesn't have a Facebook account, and my Uncle Terry. My Uncle Terry brought him to tears. And to know how my uncle is and my dad, they're not the type to, you know, tear up easily, and it touched everybody.
Again, that was Kathleen Quigley, a local resident who has discovered a special photo in the Indianapolis Library's digital collection of her grandfather. Pam, what kind of reaction do you have knowing that our service has had that kind of an impact on somebody?
Well, John, this is a great demonstration of the kind of thing that we're trying to accomplish with these digital collections, which is making those connections to the community. And so when Kathleen contacted us and let us know about this, we were thrilled. We were so happy that we could connect her with her grandfather and also her father with his father. This really extended into all of her family, and it just really made us happy and underscored our mission in putting these digital collections up.
And again, speaking of the firefighters collection, you might explain what is in the works now to really enhance that collection. We've had many firefighter photos up and historical items already from the museum, but there's more to come, right?
There sure is. What Kathleen had discovered was a portrait of her grandfather that is in the collection, and during the past several weeks we've added about 900 more portraits, but there are many more. We've discovered that there are more portraits hanging down in the firefighters' headquarters down on Mass Avenue, and we know of at least 3 particular years that they have down there covering 1961, 1986, and 2002, and there's over 2,000 photographs in just those particular years. So we're hoping that we can find even more,
yes,
and that we can continue to add these to our collection.
But a lot of the photos actually go back to the very early 1900s too, correct?
Yes, they do, and the photographs that were the portraits that we just added were from 1909 and from 1926.
Interesting. So check the library's website, ndpl.org. You can find the collection of firefighter photos. Pam mentioned the full collection of IPS yearbooks that also date back to the early 20th century and even before in some cases. It's a special collection, and we thank Pam and her crew for the work that they do. Again, you can find the NDPL digital collection from the website ndpl.org.